Wish all of you a very happy Vijaya Dashami. Very important day. Very vitally important day. Vijaya is victory. Dashami is 10. 10 has also a value. 1 plus 0 is 1. Unity. So 10 has a big value in this particular context. And after 9 days, Navaratris, Ratri is night, 9 nights, it's brightness coming. So it's a very, very important day. Baba attained Mahasamadhi today. That also has great value. Why did he choose today? It's a day of expansion. And while the day itself is inducing expansion, Baba expanded. He expanded all over the world. He was living in a particular place, a small place in Shirdi. Now he is all over the world. We see him, feel him, we touch him, we communicate with him, and he listens to us. He helps us, guides us, protects us. So Baba's presence became universal today. That's another additional importance for all those people who love Baba. Sai Baba. So when I think about Dashami, I also remember the 10 heads of Ravana. Ravana, I think all of you will know Ravana, who knows Ramayana, story of Lord Ram. And in that story, the opponent, the person whom he wins from, or whom he defeats, whom Rama defeats, is Ravan. And he is supposed to have 10 heads. 10 heads simply means proficiency in 10 different things. He was a very educated man. He was well versed in 10 different aspects of existence, almost like PhDs. He had PhD in quite a lot of things. So Ravan, he was a great warrior. He was a great ruler. He was a great musician. He used to sing. Even Shiva Tandava, the great Shiva Tandava Stotra, is delivered by Ravan. Nobody could write something like that later on. Many people tried, but in that meter, in that rhythm, nobody could produce another thing like that. So he was a great writer, musician, singer. When you think about Shiva Tandava Stotra, Jatada Vigala Jala Pavaha Pavita Sthale Gale Valambya Lambidam Bhujanga Tunga Malikam, that kind of rhythm and beat is almost like a dance, a heavy beat and dance. That kind of music could only be coming out of somebody who's well versed, well educated, or well deeply immersed in that frequency of Shiva. And that's how he became a great devotee of Shiva. Shiva loved him. Shiva loved him so much that he took part of his own energy, soul, and gave him a Shiva Linga. So if somebody reaches that proximity to Shiva, he must be amazing. He must be really, really powerful. So Ravan had 10 different specific dimensions which are pronounced, and he was proficient in them. That is what all his character was so powerful. He was a great Brahmin, he was a great ruler, great administrator in every aspect. So why did he commit a foolishness like kidnapping the wife of Ram? There is a reason for such things. It's not because he was a fool. It's because he knew what he was doing. And he knew very well that the best and the most effective way to ensure liberation is to ensure proximity to an enlightened master. He knew this very well. Ram is an avatar. How can you be so close to an avatar? Not easy. Because when you come close, avatar is like a burning sun, very hot. They are 100% purpose bound. So when you connect to an avatar, you may get burned. Your ego might get burned. So it's not easy to stay connected to an avatar. So even if you love him or worship him, there is still a distance. So how can you ensure that he comes and you live at in his presence with his hands? That is how he created the whole scenario. Ram had to come to Sri Lanka, fight Ravan, and killed him. And when Ravan's soul was leaving the body, Ram was standing next to him. The avatar was standing next to him when he was dying. And that ensured him liberation. He was not a fool. He knew what he was doing. So the 10 heads, 10 aspects, proficiencies, 10 PhDs means so much of ego. Each head signifies ego. Ego strengthens with qualification, strengthens with your interactions, your presence, your power, your money. Everything adds to ego. And that prevents you from connecting to the unity, which is ego-less state, the consciousness state. It's not easy to connect. So in Ravan's case, all these particular aspects which he was proficient, one arrow from Ram destroyed all of them. It diminished everything. He is nothing anymore. He is dead. Ego is dead. Then what remains is unity. So when all these 10 comes together, couples together, and 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. He became one with consciousness. So today is a very important day to remember that we are consciousness, and whatever is separating us from the consciousness, from the connection with the Master, we must nullify them. And it's important to remember the purpose. It's very important to remember why we came here. If you look at life, if you think of life as a whole, no choice over birth. We did not choose, or we did not know we are taking birth. We are born. So we didn't have a control over our birth. No choice over our death. We do not know when we will go, when this body will die. We do not know. So we have no control over death. And we have no control over incidents of life. It's all happening. It's just happening. Each day, each situation, each level of awareness, experience, all these are happening. So nothing we have control. We have no control over birth. We have no control over death. We have no control over any of the situations of life. Mind may believe that, okay, I planned it. I imagined it. I planned it. I had a vision. I had a plan. That's mind's game. But all that we are doing is floating over an unknowable existence. No idea about birth, no idea about death, and each situation's events are coming in our life. And when they are coming in our life, if our mind, if our full involvement is there at that time as things happen, we experience good things, or we experience completely, where there is completion. We have good experience of anything, whether it's positive or negative. We have good experience. We have complete experience. But when our mind is not there, when we are fighting something, or this is not what I wanted, or this is not good, we have so many wishes, dreams, and hopes. And because of all that, if we are deluded, that's when we miss what the time has brought you. So time brought you life, time will bring you death, and time will give you situations. So everything in life is like that. It comes. We meet people, we connect to people, sometimes we have very deep connections, intimate connections, sometimes we have separations. All this drama is part of life. But a wise person will always stay connected to consciousness, because end of the day, we are consciousness. So how do you light the lamp inside you? Stay with a lamp which is already lit. That's the best way to do it. A master is a lamp which is already lit. So if you stay close to that lamp, when the time is right, when the wind is not blowing too much, your lamp also will be lit. So staying connected is very important. Vijayadashami signifies that, staying together, connecting. That connection has a lot of value. It's a grand collaboration. It's a grand collaboration. We have a specific reason for meeting. We may not know why we met, but there is a reason for meeting. We may not even understand what are we doing together. Even then, there is a reason for us being together. How long we will be together, that also we don't know. But we will exist as long as we have one awareness about consciousness. What you want out of life? I want to see God. I want to be with God. Or I want to experience God. Then there is a reason, there is a proper meaning for our connection. There is a meaning that we may not know all the time. Sometimes we forget. But as soon as possible, come back. Hey, look here. I am walking with consciousness. I am consciousness. That awareness is important. So that is what Hanuman did. He always remembered why he is with Ram. Ram is supreme consciousness walking in a human body. Just like Jesus was consciousness walking in a human body. Great masters are all consciousness walking in human bodies just to talk to human beings. To tell them, you are not what your mind tells you. You are consciousness, which runs your mind. So this memory, this thought, this is what masters are conveying to you all the time, continuously. So Hanumanji knew Ram is consciousness. All he did was stayed close to Ram, chanted his name, Ram, 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 Ram always. So what happened? He became one with Ram. He became very powerful. No, he became undefeatable. Nobody could defeat him. Supreme strength, supreme devotion brings you supreme strength. He had supreme strength because of supreme devotion. He stopped being Hanuman, the limited. He became Ram, the unlimited. So when you are fully connected to the master who is consciousness, you don't have to think about any separation, the right method, wrong method. Everything gets nullified. As long as you are connecting in whichever method, it's good. It's okay. That's your way of connecting. You may connect only the way you are. So nobody can say, this is the only method of connection. It doesn't work. Everybody connects to consciousness one way or the other, as per what is comfortable for them, and it's all okay. As long as you are connected, stably connected, you will get everything. So, Vijayadashami, this is the thing we talk about, that the 10th day signifies oneness. And today we will have a lot of lights, because after 9 nights with goddess, various aspects of goddess, starting from Pradhamam Shailaputridi, Dudiyam Brahmacharini, Tridiyam Chandragandedi, Kushmandedi Chadurdagam, onwards to Navadurga. All the 9 aspects of Durga we have experienced. Before that, we had Pidur Paksha, the time for ancestors. So soon after ancestors were all taken care of during the Pidur Paksha, we moved into the 9 aspects of goddess, and then comes Vijayadashami. So it's such a beautiful flow. First, we took care of all the ancestors, made sure they are going in the right direction. They are loved, settled, guided properly to the right direction. Then we had Navaratris, 9 aspects of Durga, goddess, Shakti, the movement of energy, moving energy. And then came the 10th day, which is today. And we are here together for this. So there is a reason, there is a method, and it's a grand collaboration, as I mentioned earlier. And understand that we are only talking about unity, oneness, one. I'll take your questions. Okay, while I'm getting the questions, whatever we focus in, we will attain proficiency in that. See, usually you need to think about a day, and what are we concentrating, what are we focusing on? Whatever we are focusing more and more, or consistently, we will attain proficiency in that. So if you connect to the God consciousness or the Guru consciousness long enough, firm enough, steady enough, you will have to attain that level. Because you cannot connect and disconnect and connect and expect there is the consistency or consistency of connection. It doesn't work that way. You got to stay connected. Maybe 1 week, 1 year, 10 years, nothing will happen. Suddenly, things start shifting. So until the frequency matches, there will always be friction or inequality. But if you are staying put, staying connected long enough, strong enough, consistent enough, then suddenly it merges. It connects and it merges. Then there is no separation. You will feel absolutely powerful and steady because the unity consciousness is experienced all the time. So when you proficiency is on, somewhere you are parking your mind consistently, and there will be distractions. People will say, why are you wasting your time? Hey, come on, there is a feature film or there is something else. There will be distractions. So the main thing about life is handling distractions. That is why we need to have a goal. Otherwise, you don't need a goal. As I explained earlier, time is bringing you situations. You don't need to have any goal. Like I was not planning to come and sit here and talk. It happened. So time is bringing these situations, and we are just responding to those situations spontaneously. Why we need a goal then? If everything is time is bringing birth, time is also bringing death. So why do we need to have goal? Why do we need to have vision? For the sake of focus. Why focus? Otherwise it's distraction. The other side is distraction. So many people tell you so many things and you will not have any focus anywhere. So it's important that we need to have a goal, a vision, a particular viewpoint. This is very important so that you can really stay connected to your priority. If connecting to consciousness is not your priority, mind will take you away from it easily, very easily. If connecting to consciousness, or becoming consciousness is not your priority, the lures of senses are very easy. The tastes and the smells and the sounds and the visions always attract you. They keep attracting you. You know, it's very easy.
Can you explain what is consciousness? And please tell us something about Shirdi Sai Baba.
About Shirdi Sai Baba, my connection, there are many videos in Mohanji official. So I will not sit down and explain that now. My connection with Shirdi Sai Baba, there are various videos. Please go to Mohanji official YouTube channel and type Shirdi Sai Baba videos, you'll get them. All that I could say, or some of the things I can't say, but whatever I could say, I have said. Consciousness simply means pure energy that is running the universe. Consciousness simply means the purest of energies. A part of that energy is also inside our body. We call it the soul. Pure energy has no reason, no experience, no beginning, no end. That is consciousness. Consciousness is another name for God. Supreme consciousness is another name for Supreme God. You cannot explain these things. God is inexplainable, only experienceable. You can experience God, but you cannot explain God, because God is everything. Whatever you see and whatever you do not see is God. So how do you put God into any kind of bracket, any kind of explanation? Impossible to explain God, but you can experience God. You can experience people who have experienced God. That's also same. People who have experienced God carries much larger aspect of God within themselves. I repeat, people who have experienced God carries within them much larger aspects, much larger quantity of consciousness within them. Even though quantity is not a right word, it's not measurable, but it's that they are more closer to subtlety or subtle consciousness. They're more closer to consciousness. So they carry more. But normally people who are ignorant, unaware, they have the consciousness within, but they are not aware of it. So people who are connected to God, experienced God, are more more God-like than the people who do not know about it. So staying in close contact with the people who have experienced God is very important. You can consider them as God itself, or your connection with God itself. That's why Jesus said, through me you can reach my Father. He never said, I am the Father. Later he said, me and my Father are one. That means the division of unit disappeared in him. There's a division, me and God, all the time. That changes after a while. Then there's no division. There's no me and God. It's all God. So there's no Father and Son anymore. It's one. So it's a universal energy and the unit energy for two different purposes. Universal energy's job is to run the whole universe. Unit energy is to run this unit. but it's all energy, end of the day. And operating levels are different, and those frequencies will be different also. One has a massive, large aspect of functionality, scope of work, while the unit doesn't have that kind of a scope of work. So everything is consciousness, everything is part of God, everything is God. So if you start seeing the God aspect in all things, you will see no separation from any people. You cannot be separate. You are all one. So there is no Mohanji apart from you. The Mohanji that you carry inside is your only truth with Mohanji, reality with Mohanji, connection with Mohanji. If you look at Mohanji outside and look at him as a human being with a particular behavioral pattern, character, constitution, form, colors, all these things, then you're only seeing an object which is walking, which has no real value connected to another object. But if you understand the consciousness which is operating through Mohanji and you start feeling that consciousness inside you, then I am inside you. There's no separation. We don't have a separation. If we don't have that kind of connection where we have no separation, every other connection is unstable. All other connection is unstable, because the only connection which is stable is the connection inside. Everything outside is unstable. Sometimes we meet, sometimes we don't meet. Sometimes we are deeply connected, sometimes we are not connected. That story will continue up and down, left and right, here and there. That's a duality. That will continue. So our job is to ensure that our connection remains stable, whatever happens. Any tsunami happens, any earthquake, any war happens, our connection should remain stable. How? It has to be internal. So the whole purpose and the whole exercise, whole purpose of the whole exercises, whole purpose of the spiritual path is to internalize the connection. We all have the potential. All of us can do it. We all have the power, we all have the potential, and we can internalize it. That's very essential. God and consciousness are same. If you are looking at God as an individual with a character or with a particular form, name, form, all those things, understand that's only an aspect of God. God has no name, no form, no size, no boundaries, nothing. He is pure consciousness spread over, expanded over the entire universe. Universe, don't even look at the universe where you can see, like the tangible universe. Tangible universe are the galaxies and the planets and the stars and the satellites. That's the tangible universe. God is well beyond that. So it's untangible. You can't call it. You can't really hold it. So it's a very vast affair, big, huge thing. That is actually God. God is formless. God is beyond any forms, and God is not existing for particular reason. God has no reason. The existence has no reason. Like our life. What is the reason for our life? We can create any name or any reason, but there is no reason. Whatever you are experiencing every day, your mind, your understandings, your experiences, desires, inclinations, that's all part of the reason for existence. So if you go down all the way to the core of our existence, can you really trace the reason? Very difficult, because there is no such reason like that. It's experience. We can generally say experience is the reason. Of course, that is the reason. But again, what kind of experience? Whatever you are experiencing every day through various things, that's the reason. So God has no purpose, no reason. And likewise, our soul has no purpose, no reason. Soul is existing inside us as energy, energizing our body, our mind, and helping us to experience life. But soul has no particular reason to be soul. It is like that. Life is like that. Relationships are like that. You cannot say this is right, this is wrong, because there's no right or wrong. It's just experience. Some we like it, so we say, oh, this is good, this is right. Some we don't like it, so we say this is wrong. So this is how it is. God and consciousness are all the names of one thing. Pure brightness, formless, beyond any size and form and structure. This is what it is. Shailaputri is the daughter of the mountain. So it's like the birth onwards, a woman's development to the every level. Like the first aspect is a child, a daughter. Then Brahmacharini, she's a maiden growing up. Then each level, then pregnant woman, then delivering a child, somebody's mother, and then each level to the level of dissolution. So the whole cycle of dissolution, that is the 9 days signify 9 aspects. I think we have spoken about this earlier, so I'm not repeating it now. But these 9 aspects are 9 aspects of your own life, a human life. Various from a child, a small child, to a full woman, and then dissolving to consciousness, the whole cycle of life. You know, one thing we must remember on a different context, I'm continuing from the past. See, God is abundance. Have you ever experienced God as abundance? This is one of the fundamental we should know. God is abundance. Everything, every atom is from God. Every creation, every non-creation is from God. So what is God? Perfect abundance. But do we ever feel abundance? That is our disconnection from God. Simple. It is easy to know whether we are disconnected when we don't feel abundant. How do you know that you're feeling abundant? You'll feel gratitude. Simple. Deep gratitude inside for everything. What you have and what you don't have, you're grateful. You will accept every situation as it is. You will know that this situation is what you've chosen unknowingly at some point in time. Otherwise, you will not get that situation. One of the fundamental ignorance is that resisting any situation. Fundamental ignorance. We are resisting a situation and we believe that this situation we can change. How can you change it? Become eligible for another situation. Then it can change. Otherwise, if you forcefully change something, it will come back. When you grow up each level in awareness, different situations comes to you. Your company changes. When your awareness is growing, you will have the company of masters with you, or at least people who like that level of energy with you. Otherwise, you will have people who are completely following sensory pleasures, eating, drinking, sleeping, that pleasures. So God is abundance. Our tradition, Datta tradition, Sai Baba is abundance. There's no dearth. There's no dearth. But we refuse to ask, or we refuse to believe that we are abundance. And then we cry. And the worst thing we do is we beg. Even people beg for love. We should never beg. We are abundance. When you become love, every love comes to you. Love is not about a man or a woman or a particular situation. Love is a state. I always say, when you want to change something around, do it yourself and show it to the world. This is how it should be done. Not tell somebody, please do it. What happens when you tell somebody, please do it? They may do it, they may not do it. At least you will have an enemy because of that. At least you will be angry with, somebody will be angry with you because you are pushing them. But imagine you do it. Like Mahatma Gandhi's story. There was a board outside his room, said, keep the slippers in order, footwear properly. Everybody comes and throws the footwear and comes inside. But whenever after the Satsang, after discussion with Mahatma Gandhi, when they come out, all the footwear used to be in order. Every day they saw this happening, and one day somebody stood outside to see who's doing it. So before Gandhi came to the Satsang, he used to tidy up the shoes before he entered. When his people were not doing what he taught them, he did it himself. Then everybody started doing. They understood it serious. So how you can get things moving in the world? Do it. Do it yourself. Do it and prove it, rather than talk about it. Otherwise, you please do this, and that person didn't do it, then you are in a conflict. Most of the conflicts of the world are because we are commanding. We are not moving. We are not doing. So, one part of abundance, as I said, abundance, never beg, because begging is diminishing yourself. Instead, raise your eligibility. When you don't need anything, everything comes to you. When we are not in a need for something, they all come to you. But when you are chasing something, you may not even get that thing. That is how life works. If you are not getting something, it simply means you have not increased your eligibility to receive it. That is why they say you should aim at the moon minimum so that you'll reach the treetop. If you do not aim at the moon, you will not even rise to the treetop. That's how human mind works. So, tradition of abundance, remember this very clearly. We are the tradition of abundance. We are abundance. We have the eligibility for abundance. Exercise it. Exercise it. It's very important. And believe in it. You are abundance. Believe in it. Don't beg for anything. Don't beg for love. Don't beg for something. Don't beg. Instead, position yourself. It comes to you. When it comes to you, it stays. If you beg or you get it, you may not stay. That is another thing. So what you need to do? What you need to do? Put the intentions very clear. You should have clarity about what you want. Why you need clarity? I told this earlier. Why do you need that clarity? It's because it helps you from distractions. Otherwise, it's distraction, distraction, distraction. Life is filled with distraction. Social media is distraction. Everything is distraction. And it's kind of, you take it easy through life and you allow yourself to be distracted. Then later we regret because we lost time. So, put your intention very clear. Hey, this is exactly what I want. I want to reach there. Where am I going? I'm going there. Very clear. Then work towards it. Second aspect is work towards it. Don't tell people. You start working towards it. This is what I always did. I don't tell people everything I do. I work towards it. And then it shows. I tell people also, put your aim clear, but as a group, you should have consensus. You should all be talking to each other. Not that a group, everybody does their thing, then the group will not exist. Group will die. So everybody should have joint consensus about the thing and then work towards it and do more than what you talk. Don't talk, you do it. So more you do, the more you deliver, the more power comes to you. Power means not the political power, it's the power to do more, or satisfaction level will increase. So please remember, we are abundance and we can actually attain that state of abundance. That is what Navaratri brings you. A state of richness, abundance. A state of completion, fullness, fulfillment. That's what comes through Navaratris. And Vijayadashami, as Baba expanded beyond Shirdi to the entire world, we can also expand today. Remember today, and every day can be Vijayadashami, expansion. So this is something very important to remember. Set your goal, put the intention, and intention should be pure, not selfish. Selfish intentions are unit-wise. Means the whole world will not help you to achieve it. Why should they? Because your intention is selfish. If your intentions are pure, unselfish, then the entire world, entire universe helps you to attain it. So this is also, remember. Single priority, important. One priority, single priority. It's very important. And single pointed concentration. Focus on that thing. How much time is not important, but when you are at it, only that you remember. Left or right is not important. Other things are not important. When you're focusing on that thing, only that thing. I always used to tell our people, when you're talking to me one thing, don't try to tell me another thing. Just this. I don't know how many of you have worked with Japanese people. It's very clear when you talk to them one thing and in between you try to tell them something, they will stop you. Sir, please wait. Are we talking about this subject or another subject? They will ask this question. And if you say different subject, they say, sir, can we talk this later? That's exactly what you're talking about. That's why you see a lot of progress in Japan. When they are focused on one thing, they only focus there. They complete it, move it, then another one. So that at each point in time, you're only focused on one thing. So it is very important to have single priority what exactly you want out of life. I always set my priority many years ago. I only wanted God, nothing else. So it was easy for me. I was not interested in the toys of God. I was only interested in God. The one who makes the toys, I was interested. So for me, it was very easy to connect. And if you are interested in the toys, you may waste a lot of time, but it's okay. If that's what you want, please go ahead. All these toys and all these things are fine. But if your focus is clear and if your focus is God, stay focused, single-pointed concentration. And I'm not saying that you should not eat, drink, sleep, do all that, no problem. But when you wake up, back of the mind, remember, my focus is there, God. Then single path practice, guru and destination. You cannot have many gurus for one path. What will you do with them? Or what will they do with you? You know, for one path, one subject, one travel, one destination, you only need one guru. Stay connected, very important. If you have many gurus, you can spend your time with all of them, they are good people. But nothing will happen because you will be stagnating end of the day. But if you really want progress, one path, one destination, one practice, and one single-pointed focus. It's very important. Why I am saying all this is because this is all connected to the energy which we have developed over Navaratris, 9 nights, and Vijayadashami. Because we have built up the energy, the momentum in such a way that we can actually refocus, reinvent, and move things in a much more meaningful way today. Good day for this. So now the purpose of life, I explained this earlier, the purpose of life. Understand clearly. Attending to what the time brings you each moment. Attending to what the time brings you each moment fully is the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? You're attending to what the time is bringing you each moment. It could be different. Every moment are different. Every situations are different. So your attention and attending to what the time has brought you in your plate now, attending to that with full focus, full concentration, just like what I told now, without distraction. That is the purpose of life. If you live like that, you will know that you're not creating anything, you're not uncreating anything, you're just floating as normal with every day, with time, just like you floated in at birth and you will float out at death. You're floating, and this you will remember, and you smoothly walk through life. So disappointments will not be there, pressures will not be there, doership will not be there, ownership will not be there, and eventually all the time you'll experience stability. Good idea, very important, right? So goals do help. Prioritization helps because they all help you to stay away from distraction. And it's important every day. Yeah. Next one.
How do you find balance between modesty and self-love?
Modesty and self-love. Modesty is connected to your expression, how you are conducting yourself in the world. Self-love is a minimum requirement that you should have because you are born. You've taken this body. You're here for a purpose. You may not even know what is your purpose. Never mind. You don't have to know what is your purpose. But you're here, you've taken a body, you're now living a life. So respecting yourself as a complete individual is very important so that you can walk away from where you are unwanted, at least. If you respect yourself, if you respect your own time, if you respect your availability here on earth, and if you start respecting, that will become love and respect together, you'll be steady. Where you are not wanted, you will not stay. So at least self-respect will get you there. So self-love is a basic thing you need to cultivate. We can love anybody. Even if you don't love anybody, it doesn't really make a difference. But if you don't love yourself, you miss out a lot. If you don't love yourself, what happens next? Conflict. with you. If you start fighting with yourself, it affects experiences. What is life for? Experiencing. Experiencing numerous things. That is what life is for. And if you resist yourself, if you restrict yourself, you lose experiences. And that's a big tragedy. Because then what are you here for? What are you here for? So it's important that you should be fully you, accept life as it comes, dare to experience, and if you really have a desire, go for it, whatever it is. There's no right or wrong, good or bad, go for it. But always remember, every action has a reason, while every reason also sometimes have a price. Everything has a price. Price is time, and what time brings you. Price is time, because you are spending time for experience, right? So the currency is time. And what the time brings you, because if you do something which are asking for repetition or more of those things, that means you may need more time. Otherwise, if it's completion, fulfillment, finished, you can tidy it up and leave. That's easier. So things are happening at its time. Things or situations. They're all happening at its time, right? Every situation is happening at its time. We are neither creating nor are we changing it. We can't do it. Because each event, each situation is surfacing in our life. They are happening. All these things have its own value, reason, value, all those things. But it's happening as we are living. And then we think that we are doing it, we are creating it. No, we are not creating it. Situation has given us a chance to experience it. We call it creation. I repeat, situation has given us a chance to do something or express something. We call it our own. So situation brought these things. It's given us a chance to express or experience it. And that's what we are doing. That's all we are doing. So everything is happening. Things are happening, situations are happening at its time, at its own time. Not that as we like. Sometimes we think that, oh, it's my idea or I did it. That's wrong. Not that we did it. It's all happening at its time. We cannot change it nor create it. We think that we created it. It's not so. It's not so. Situations allowed you for that experience. That is what we call as ours. So understand that ownership and the falsity of ownership. It's not like we did it, we created it. Did we create this land? We created this land. Land was existing thousands of years ago. So many footsteps may be there on this land. You know, the state, the city, how many footsteps would have fallen on the pedestrian walkways of the city? How many generations would have walked here? And can we call it as ours? Okay, temporarily for some time when we are walking, that's ours. Then we walk away. Somebody else will walk. People keep walking. Nothing is ours. Nothing is ours. Nothing we carry, nothing we brought, nothing we created. Creation doesn't mean that creating a house or something. That's all our expressions, no problem. Creation means making things out of thin air with full capacity or capability of creation, which we don't have. Only the God energy has that power. The one who created universe, the planets and or created means out of which creations happen, that is the only truth. Even God did not sit down and create. Out of God, various things happened. We happened. Situations are happening, time is happening, trees and plants are happening, everything is happening. Out of pure energy, that is what we call God. Only God can create and God can uncreate. Everything goes back to Him. So we are as human beings, such a small ant-like beings in the universe, very small. We believe that we create so many things. We created skyscrapers, etc. They are all our expressions based on the available resources. We have done wonders with our expressions based on available resources. But we didn't create them. You know, we have done various things based on imagination, based on intelligence. That's all fine. But where are the source of it? Where is it come from? from the available resources, things available in this world. So only one creator, only one person, one being, and that person also is not a creator. Creation happens because of its presence. God is not a creator. God's presence helps creation. Things get created in the presence of God. Things get created in the presence of masters. That is, he's connected to God. God is pure consciousness. Master connected to God, fully occupied with God, is pure consciousness. In the presence of that kind of person, miracles happen. Abundance are visible. It happens. They are not a unit. They are universe. Example is Shirdi Sai Baba, various masters. You take any masters, Jesus, Babaji, everybody. Powerful, powerful, because they are all experiencing or expressing themselves as the universe, universal consciousness. They can create, because creation happens in their presence. Not that they sit down and create one thing. They don't do that. Creation happens in their presence. When you become consciousness, the whole universe happened in the presence of, or just because the consciousness, the God was present. God doesn't have time to make one planet and then put another one. It's not like that. Creation happens, dissolution happens, life happens, death happens, everything happens. And God is just watching, or even not even watching, not even bothered. Whatever happened, let it happen. There's nothing to be bothered about. Simple existence, pure existence. There's no up or down, there's no left or right, there's no give or take. Pure existence. Egoless existence. Ownership-less existence. God doesn't take ownership. God has no ownership. So now forget about a God who's looking down and say, okay, you're a good boy, I give you a candy, or you're a bad guy, go to hell. That's no God like this. Nobody. That's all human imagination. Then why are things happening, good and bad things happening to us? Because of our expectation. If we start learning to accept everything, nothing will be too good, nothing will be too bad. Like you can see the life of various masters. If you get time, read that. Masters, legendary masters who walked this earth. They never got disappointed with something in life. They were not even ecstatic about something in life. Okay, this is happening. I'm here, existing, experiencing, good, bad, ugly, no problem. That is how it is. Otherwise, expectation, oh, I want good things only, bad things I cannot have. And then what happens? Something bad comes, you blame the guru, change the guru. You see? And blame the God. Blame the God. God, because of you, I am suffering. God has nothing to do with you, first of all. Look at the size of God, which is the source of the universe, and you. You are not even visible. You are like an atom in the whole universe, even maybe less than an atom. But as a unit, you feel important, very big. That's as a unit, everything will feel. An atom will feel very big as a unit because it has its existence. Existence gives you a false identity. Existence gives you this false identity that I'm powerful, I'm big, I'm huge, I'm a master, or I'm better than you, lesser than you. What? It's all illusion after illusion. This is the thing which I always talk about. When you get a name, somebody says, hey, your name, and this is very important. So people crave for names, their name. Sometimes title, various titles you get. Positions in the society you get. Sometimes awards, recognitions, rewards. All these things can be adding to the illusion. You'll start feeling, oh, I'm this now. I have to live like this. I have to walk like this, talk like this, move like this. Oh, I should not look here. I should not look. All these things add to your illusion. And what happens? You lose reality. You lose your contact with reality. You lose touch with reality. What is reality? Reality is that it's all a drama. It's all a drama. Enjoy it, no problem. Enjoy it. It's okay. But it's all a drama. And when we believe that we are the role we are playing and we get carried away with it, we lose out. We lose out. And then to come out of the illusion, it's like a whirlpool. Illusion sucks you down. Illusion is like a whirlpool. It spins you and sucks you down and drowns you in illusion. And by the time you come out, it will be another 1,000 lives. By the time you surface again, another 1,000 lives. Same thing happens when you blame people, when you criticize people, judge people, scandalize people. You create a huge whirlpool of emotions in the world. And what happens, it sucks you in and pulls you down, drowns you. Then by the time you come back to the same state of resurface, to the same state, it will be another 10,000 lifetimes later. That's the trap of illusion. Always be aware. When people are eager to give you a name or a title or all these things, see, so many people have given me so many things. But I never got carried away. I still sign off as M. Mohanji. One name itself is big burden. One name is enough. What do you need the name for? Identification. People should recognize you. Who are you? Okay, I have a name, so this is it. That's okay. For identification, it's fine. Apart from that, why do you need any more names? Names are frequencies which people identify you with. That's okay. That's fine. Minimal, everything is okay. In modesty, in moderation, everything is okay. In excess, nothing is okay. That's a burden, heavy burden. Why should we carry any burden? We don't have to carry any cross. Any cross. That's our birthright. That doesn't mean you don't take a responsibility. Must take a responsibility. That's your integrity. Taking responsibility and fulfilling it shows how much integrity you have. So taking responsibility and fulfilling is very vital, important in our tradition. And that tells that we have been existing with great integrity, powerful character, right?
How can you feel your presence within us always?
Remember. Spend some time to remember every day. No need for any particular worship or any particular connection. In your way, you connect. I will never say this is the prescribed way to connect to my consciousness. There's no prescribed way. You connect to me as you are. But remember, and why is this connection? My connection, if it is not helping you to remember consciousness, what you originally are, this connection is wasted. It's like any other connection. You have numerous connections and relations in the world, right? Why do you need another connection with me? Because in case, if you cannot remember with my connection that you are the consciousness that you've been looking for, or simply put, you are part of this huge macro consciousness. God, you are part of God. If you can't feel that, then why this connection with me? So always remember, do not do any wasted activity. Because somebody else is connected, you should not connect to me. Somebody has a reason to connect to me. Maybe you have no reason to connect to me. So when somebody walks away, you will also walk away. Then what are you? You have your integrity is deeply affected, right? Because of somebody, you are walking away. If somebody can spoil your mind against me, what does that mean? You lack integrity. You should connect individually, directly, as you are, with integrity, consistency, and conviction. Then our life and our relation is meaningful. To have meaningful relationships, we must have consistent connection with awareness. Otherwise, it's better not to be connected. So, very important to feel. When you feel, you will know. When you start feeling, you will know. Until then, you will not know. You are looking at an image, a form, good enough, no problem. But how do you know? To know, you need to feel. To feel, you should remember. So remember, feel, and you will know, and then you will dissolve. Then once you see, nobody can, imagine Mohanji is no more. Mohanji passed away. What will you feel? If you are connected to the form, what will you feel? The form is lost, everything is lost. No. No. Shirdi Sai Baba's Mahasamadhi day today. What did he prove? 1918, October 15 was Vijayadashami. He left on that day. What did he do? He left his physical body, means the physical body was not available for us anymore. But he is still available. Physical body is not available, but Baba is still available. We had experience, one of the person had direct experience of Baba coming and asking for food in our Scotland ashram. In our center, Baba came and said, give me food. Okay, Baba is not in the body. Why does he need food? He is just proving his presence. Say, look here, I'm here. You connecting to me, think you are worshipping a statue? No. Statue is only a representation of my consciousness, the consciousness which we call as Baba's consciousness. But I'm here, as good as a living being. So this is exactly the point. He gives various experiences, various messages. All these things are real. Skeptical mind, we can say, oh, how can he come? All the people who are dead are dead. Yeah, sure, they're all dead in some aspect. Physical existence aspect, dead, finished. But when a person expands beyond the physical body, even while existing in the body, can never die. I repeat, a person who has already expanded beyond the physical body, while being in the physical body, has no death, can never die. Because body may go, but the expansion remains. Baba is that is why we have this temple in Shirdi, in Serbia. Shirdi temple in Serbia, in Scotland, in Slovenia, and everywhere Baba is talking, communicating, blessing, protecting. How is this possible? Trust it, it's not a statue. It's a representation of a live consciousness. I repeat, representation of a live consciousness. And that consciousness may not even need that representation to talk to you. But that representation, the idol, does help. Because to focus, good to have an idol. Why all these masters have taken their bodies? Why did Jesus take a body at all? Why did Buddha take a body? Because there should be one point of contact, just for the sake of focusing. Consciousness has to take bodies time and again to allow people space to connect. That's why consciousness will take bodies to guide people to consciousness. They will take bodies. So today is a very important day to remember this, that no death to any master. Ram never died, Krishna never died, Buddha never died, Jesus never died. They all had physical exits, no problem. Physical existence itself is for a purpose. Primary purpose is to allow a connection to the world. The world can connect to a form, it's easier. Imagine there's no physical form at all. Who will you talk to? To thin air? And how do you know they're listening? It's very difficult to connect. So a form is given. Time and again, it keeps coming. Tradition provides forms all the time. Once you have firm connection, you become the consciousness, all forms are one. It's all, everything is one. So this is why. So connection can be very stable if you believe in it, if you believe in the connection. And always remember one thing, nobody has come to your life by accident. Nobody has come into your life by accident, especially a master. If a master has come into your life, you craved for it. I repeat, craved, because you really wanted to get back home to the consciousness, not to beat around the bush in the emotions and loose motions of life. That's not what you came here for. You craved for returning back home. That's why you got a proximity with a master. A connection, true connection, not image or hallucinative connection, not illusions, not illusory connections. True connection, direct connection, interaction, because you really wanted it. craved for it. I have created spaces all for that, to become power portals, to make power. They'll all become power portals. I created my spaces for making portals, where if you enter, automatically you will be aligned towards the purpose. That's the idea. Automatically you will be aligned towards the goal, the purpose, which is connecting to consciousness. Because repeatedly we've been taking birth after birth after birth, following the same pattern of pleasures. Now it's time you cut across and go beyond. And then when you are liberated, whatever pleasure or pain or whatever you want to experience, it doesn't matter. All our spaces in the world are power centers, portals created to bring alignment to people, irrespective of who comes in. Anybody who walks in some level, at least in a good level, there will be alignment. Alignment means less distraction, body, mind, intellect, spirit, all together. As a unit, you consolidate yourself, then you become the universe. So that's very important. You know, time of birth cannot be changed. We couldn't change it, could we? Time of death also cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. People put people with the breathing thing in the machine and etc. That's not life. So it's almost dead. You know, in the hospitals, what you see with the oxygen, I don't call it life. Life means where you can walk around and experience things. That's what life. So we cannot control birth. We cannot control death. Nothing we can do. It can't be changed. Just like that, the time of incidents of your life, the time where incidents happen in your life cannot be changed too. Are you with me on this? Important. You cannot change the times when incidents happen in your life. We may think that I can prepone or postpone. It's not true. Each incident, each situation happens at its time only. Time that cannot be changed. It is unchangeable. Repetition can happen, but change cannot. So when this is the case, you know, nothing can be changed. Basically, birth, death, events, nothing can be changed. Incidents cannot be changed. Then why are we making plans? Why are we making, this question came to me, that's why I'm reading it out. Why are we making plans and agendas for execution? The reason is to stay focused on priorities of life. These plans and agendas are to stay focused on the priorities of life. If you don't do that, you will have no focus in life. Then distraction is just like a snake waiting to bite you, just around the corner. So it is important to make plans and agendas, pre-planning. This is very important so that your distraction level is contained. You know, now we don't need more time. All we need is less distraction. So for that, it is important to make plans, pre-plans, agenda, all those things are important just to stay away from, just to keep focus on priorities. Keep the mind steady and undistracted so that experience can be optimal, so that each moment your experience can be more pronounced and optimal. You will not feel wasted. You will not feel life wasted because what you came here, that's what you're doing, and you're focused and experienced, and then bye-bye. When it's time to die, no problem. This is important because all these plans, goals, agendas, they are all having a reason, because that's why various masters has set a goal. Then masters said, the same master said a while ago, everything is happening. Life is happening, death is happening, situations are happening, events are happening. Okay, everything is happening, then what should I do? Why are you setting the goal? Because you have an active mind. That's why. You have an active mind which is prone for distractions. Easily goes into distractions. Easily catches and bites on things which it doesn't. You know, when you walk the dog in the street, you know, the dog becomes curious about everything on the way. Isn't it? God is really curious to move. Actually, there's nothing for the dog there. You know, that's none of his business, not its territory, but still it becomes curious. You see, our life is like that. We become curious about so many things and we distract ourselves. So this is why we need to have a goal and a focus. The dog, if the dog is not on a leash, it will stay there until it's happy, satisfied. one day is gone. So we lose days and time by being out of focus or distracted. That's why we need to have focus. We need to have goal. We need to have determination, and we need to have clarity of purpose. It's very important. Yeah, we'll wind up now. It's almost time. But I'll just answer a couple of things. One thing which I wanted to tell earlier, see, I see so many people, not from our group, I'm saying generally, they keep begging. You know, I always say, never beg. You know, it's not for a good spiritual person, or if you're seriously practicing spirituality, you should never beg. Instead, connect more and more to consciousness, make yourself, lift yourself further and further in eligibility by connecting to subtle. There is a particular destiny which brought all of us together. So there is a meaning, that's why I call it family. We are all one family. We are one team, one family. We should support each other. Do not judge, do not fight, do not compare, criticize, imitate, compete. Don't do all this. Instead, just ask the question, is there something I can do for you? How can I help you? And if somebody does something, some mistake, don't blame them. Instead say, okay, this is something which we can improve. Let's do it this way. There is a way. If you really love, let it show. All the people whom you talk to should be like Mohanji for you. Then you know we are one. Not just this body is Mohanji. All of you are Mohanji, one way or the other. Because we are all related. It's one family. And don't look at people as, oh, I like this person, I don't like this person. That's all mind. You are not the mind. Don't be a slave to your mind. You have reached here. All you need to remember is about harmony. You have reached here, and all you need to do is to maintain harmony and humility. Don't complain all the time. We will never agree with some people. We will never accept some people. That's all our problem. But in Mohanji's world, we are all one. Accept everybody like everybody will accept you. So wish you all a great Vijayadashami. I love you. We will walk together further, and till we meet again. Here now in Serbia, we are having a retreat. I think most of you are coming here for that. One day program, 4 or 5 days later. And some of them meeting at the ACT Foundation event in Serbia. And some people I meet in different places. Until we meet again, wish you good health, happiness, strength, stability, peace, and also great self-respect.